Across Asia, an estimated 30 million dogs are slaughtered each year as meat and sold for human consumption, according to the animal protection organization Humane Society International. Approximately 10 million cats are also killed for meat. Across China, there are numerous dog slaughterhouses and meat markets. Humane Society International estimates that China is responsible for killing 10 million dogs and 4 million cats for human consumption each year. According to HSI, the vast majority of the dogs and cats in China's meat trade are obtained illegally. The animals are either pets who have been stolen out of backyards, or strays that are picked up off the street.
There are gangs of men who maraud the streets in places like Beijing and Shanghai and will steal dogs off the street because they know they can get $40 to $50 if they ship them down to Yulin for a dog meat festival.
The organization says the animals often spend hours crammed into tiny wire cages as they are transported to slaughterhouses.
This is the conditions they live in.
The activists also found farms outside the city where dogs are raised for slaughter.
These are dogs being raised for slaughter.
For slaughter, for food, yeah.
For the last decade, the country hosts a controversial festival that promotes the slaughter and consumption of thousands of dogs and cats. It began as an effort to boost lagging sales. The 10-day event, known as the Lychee and Dog Meat Festival, or Yulin Dog Meat Festival, is held in June during the summer solstice in the city of Yulin.
It is unimaginable to see that one of the most despicable of human practices is still allowed in China, and even celebrated under the guise of a festival.
Despite the millions of dogs and cats killed every year, most people in China do not eat this meat.
Animal rights activists and pet owners are protesting an annual dog meat festival in southwest China. The festival was created between 2009 and 2010.
HSI reports dog meat is eaten infrequently by less than 20% of the Chinese population. A 2016 survey revealed 64% of Chinese citizens want the Yulin Dog Meat Festival to end.
中国人也不是全国都吃狗肉的，只有东北可能还有南方会有人去吃，大部分人是不吃的。
More than 50% of the population wanted the dog meat trade banned altogether.
这是你的狗吗？你要吃它吗？不要，为什么？
A 2017 survey conducted by Chinese state-registered charities, including Beijing's Capital Animal Welfare Association and Vishine Animal Protection Association, revealed dog meat consumption also isn't popular in Yulin, despite the annual dog meat festival. According to the study, 72% of Yulin residents do not regularly consume dog meat. Only 28% of the residents consume dog meat on a regular basis. The consumption of dog meat is most prevalent in the southern Chinese provinces of Guangdong and Guangxi, as well as in the northern provinces of Heilongjiang and Liaoning. Although eating dog meat was once considered a delicacy, attitudes towards dogs and cats have changed over the years. Now, more than 91 million dogs and cats are considered as pets in the country. Wendy Higgins, HSI's Director of International Media, says the consumption and trade of dogs and cats for their meat is already banned or severely restricted in a number of states and countries. These include Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, the Philippines, and Thailand. Shenzhen became the first city in mainland China to ban the consumption of dog and cat meat. The law says dog and cat meat can no longer be sold at restaurants or live markets.
The coastal city, located next to the Hong Kong border, has banned people from eating dogs and cats, wow, as part of their wilder clampdown on the wildlife trade since the coronavirus epidemic began in China. Dogs, in particular, are eaten in several parts of Asia. Wow.
The new legislation also permanently bans the consumption, breeding, and sale of wildlife, including snakes, lizards, and other wild animals, for human consumption. Announcing the ban, a spokesperson for the Shenzhen government said dogs and cats have a much closer bond with humans than other animals. Government officials said, this ban responds to the demand and spirit of human civilization. Dr. Peter Li, China policy specialist for HSI, welcomed the news, saying, with Shenzhen taking the historic decision to become mainland China's first city to ban dog and cat meat consumption, this really could be a watershed moment in efforts to end this brutal trade that kills an estimated 10 million dogs and 4 million cats in China every year. Dr. Li said Shenzhen's ban could create a domino effect, causing other cities to follow suit. Although the World Health Organization said dogs and cats do not pose a risk of transmitting the coronavirus, Dr. Li said they still carried other diseases. It's no surprise that attention is turning to this trade at this time, because it undoubtedly poses a huge human health risk for other diseases such as rabies, as well as causing immense animal suffering. The World Health Organization did warn that the trade, slaughter, and consumption of dogs pose other risks for human health. These include trichinosis, cholera, and rabies.
The disease progresses very rapidly, so they can be fine in the morning and be very, very ill by the end of the day.
Following on the heels of Shenzhen, Zhuhai became the second city in China to ban the consumption of dog, cat, and wildlife meat. Other cities in China are now considering bans. Countless celebrities have spoken out against China's dog and cat meat trade over the years, and are working to bring the Yulin Dog Meat Festival to an end.
We are here asking you to stop the cruelty.
Stop the beatings. Stop the burning.
Music mogul Simon Cowell has spoken out against the consumption of dogs and cats to his fans. Cowell took to Twitter while the 2015 Yulin Dog Meat Festival was taking place. I can barely bring myself to talk about the horrific Yulin Dog and Cat Meat Festival because it makes me so sick. But unless we all do something about this, it won't stop. We have to act now to stop these barbaric and disgusting events forever. Last year, Dame Judi Dench added a letter of support to a Care2 and HSI petition created to stop the Yulin Dog Meat Festival. Dench said in a statement, "It fills me with sadness to think that the Yulin Dog Meat Festival is just around the corner again, so I wanted to send this message as a symbol of my solidarity with all the thousands of people in China against the dog meat trade, who love their dogs and cats just as much as we do, but who go through the awful heartache of having them stolen by dog thieves. I cannot imagine the suffering of those poor dogs, and I hope very much that one day soon this cruel trade will end." Comedian and animal advocate Ricky Gervais has also supported HSI's efforts to end China's dog and cat meat trade. In a press release for the organization, Gervais said, "My friends at Humane Society International are working tirelessly to end this cruel trade all over Asia, and they desperately need your help. I've seen the footage that HSI has captured on video, and it breaks my heart. I will never forget the look of bewilderment and fear on the faces of these poor animals. The dogs and cats await a horrible fate. No animal deserves to be treated like this." Actor Peter Egan, who became a UK ambassador for Animals Asia in 2012, has also lent his support for ending the country's annual festival. In a PSA for Animals Asia, Egan said,
"In the past, over 10,000 dogs have been killed in 2 days at the Yulin Dog Meat Festival. Thanks to pressure from East and West, that is reduced to less than 1,000. But we must keep fighting."
Nonprofit organizations are working to get dogs and cats out of China's slaughterhouses and meat markets and into loving forever homes.
It's been a long journey getting the dogs here, and for a while I didn't think we were going to make it, so seeing them go off means everything today.
In April 2020, the Chinese government declared dogs and cats should not be slaughtered for their meat. The Chinese Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs recently published a draft document of the National Catalogue of Livestock and Poultry Genetic Resources, providing a list of animals considered livestock. The list includes pigs, ducks, and chickens. Dogs and cats are not on the list. In the past, the animals have not appeared on the list as livestock, but the ministry has never before provided an explanation as to why they were excluded.
Dogs have been specialized to become companion animals, and internationally are not considered to be livestock, and they will not be regulated as livestock in China.
Although the draft policy does not officially ban the consumption of dog and cat meat in the country, Higgins told The Guardian it would be a game-changer moment for animal welfare in China. Higgins said the draft policy signals a major shift in China's perception of dogs and cats. She said, "Most people in China want an end to the theft of their companion animals for a meat trade that only a small percentage of the population indulge in."
宠物它就是一个你的一个朋友，一个玩伴，它一直陪在你身边的，就是它不是用来吃的，你可以去替代它。
The draft policy hasn't been welcomed by everyone. Dog meat businesses, especially those in Guangxi, the province where Yulin Dog Meat Festival is held, have greatly opposed the ministry's declaration. Although it may still be prevalent in other parts of the world, it appears China is at least making great strides toward banning the consumption of dog meat and protecting mankind's best friend from a controversial trade. That's it for today. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. As always, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. New videos every Tuesday and Friday.